A very good morning, class. Today we are going to continue the chapter we have started earlier. Chapter name is Resource and Development Geography, chapter number 1. And so far we have shortly discussed about the water resource. And now today we are going to talk about the types of resources. Resources are classified on various terms such as on the basis of origin, on the basis of accessibility, on the basis of ownership, and on the basis of stage of development. So we will go through topic one by one. So first of all we are going towards the on the basis of origin. So we have two resources, the one is biotic resource and second is abiotic resource. The resources that are related to living things or obtained from the biosphere are known as biotic resources. Examples we have human being, flora, fauna, and fishery and livestock. Now, abiotic resources. Abiotic resources are resources that do not taken out are involving in the biology and are composed of non-living things are called abiotic resources. Examples we have land, metals and rocks. Second number division on the basis of accessibility. On the basis of accessibility we have the resources namely two renewable and non-renewable resources. The resource which can be renewed and reproduced by physically, chemically and mechanically processed are known as renewable resources. These resources have the ability to renew themselves in a given period of time. Examples we have solar energy, tidal energy and wind energy, water, forest and wildlife, and these resources are renewable resources. Now moving on non-renewable resource. The resource take a long geological time in occurring. Minerals and fuels are the examples of such resources. And we can say shortly the resource take a very long time in their formation as a geological procedure they are known as non-renewable resources. And we have examples earlier explained minerals and fuels. These resources take millions of years for the formations. Now moving on the third one on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, resource can be classified in uh, four terms: individual resources, community resources, national resources and international resources. So as the name is given by first one, individual resource, a resource that is owned and governed by an individual person, such as government land allotted to many farmers against the payment of revenue. In villages these are lands owners, but sometimes the government have the authority to manage this in a national regards. But the urban places we have own plots, houses and property, and sometimes pasture lands, ponds, water wells are the examples of individual ownership resources. Now moving on the community owned resources. Simply the word community means group of people. Some resources are accessible, managed by members of the specific community. In villages commons we have in villages commonly grazing lands and village ponds and some public picnic spot playgrounds are the part and parcel of community owned resources. They manage resource and maintain all the resources by itself and individual procedure. Next one, national resources. Legally the country has power to acquire even private property for common goods, common goodness, because all the resources are considered as an asset of a nation. So nation resources means simply the resource of a nation is considered to be the national resources. And in a national concern, a government can hold private property as a national resource. And we have some examples of these as sorry national resources such as railway, canal, roads, and many things are many things are made by individuals, but actually they are the part and parcel of national resources. In urban areas, urban development authority get powered by the government and acquire lands. All the minerals, water resources, forest, wildlife, land within the political boundaries, and ocean area up to 12 nautical miles means 22.2 kilometer. The coastal areas we can say as the territorial water, these are the part and parcel of national resources. Now moving on, the next one is international resources. Sometimes resources are owned and regulated by some international authorities and bodies. The oceanic resources beyond 200 kilometer of exclusive economic zone belong to the open ocean, and no individual country can utilize these resources without the permission of international resources. So these international organization, these are considered to be the international resources. Now the fourth one, we are moving on the basis of status of development. On the basis of status of development, we have four resources, namely potential resources, developed resources, and stock resource. And the fourth one is reserves. Potential resources, what are they? A resource for with the examples we are going to understand. In Gujarat and Rajasthan, we have plenty of wind, but actually we are not using them. Why? Because we have do not have a plenty of technology to use the resources. So such resources are considered to be the potential resources. Means we have a resource that have actually huge amount of potential for the coming future, but actually we don't have use them in the present scenario. Moving on, the developed resource. These resources are the resources which are served and qualified and utilized as actual use. They are known as actual resources. The resource and the development of the resource depend on technology and level of their feasibility. Means the resource we can use with the help of modern technology is considered to be as known as developed resources. Now moving on, the next one, stock resources. Our environment is rich in minerals which have the potential to satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have the appropriate technology to put them into proper use, or called stock. For examples, means we don't have any proper technology to use them is known as stock. Examples are: water is a component of two inflammable gases, means hydrogen and oxygen, which can be used as a rich source of which a source of energy, but we don't have a proper technology to use hydrogen and oxygen to be used in this purpose as a fuel in the future need. So these are considered to be as the stock. Moving on, the fourth one, reserves. These reserves are the subset of the stock. These are the resources which can be utilized with the help of available technology, but their use have been postponed to fulfill the requirement of futures. Means we have uh, resources, but we have made them reserved, and we have level technology to be used, but we are not using them. We have uh, saved them for the use of futures. They are considered the reserves. Water of the rivers can be used in generation of hydroelectricity power on a large scale, but presently it is being used initially only to a limited extent. we are using these resources as water for the purpose of electricity generation, but we are using them in a limited scale. So thus we the water in the dam and forest are the reserves which can be used in the future. So that's all for the children. Good day.